Alright, today we're going to show you how to change a pulley on the ice cream side of a K3. If you've had complaints of a belt slipping or a squealing noise, that's why you would need to do this. You're going to have to remove this back panel, these two side panels, your cone studs, these two blank offs. We will take care of this and we will be right back. Now that we have the back panel removed, we're going to take this electrical panel and we're going to tip it down to access the pulley. To do that, we're going to have two number 13 bolts with back nuts on them. I'll lift this door up. We like to put a magnet on here so the door will stay up. You don't have to try to fight with that. Here's the back side. You'll have to have two number 13 wrenches. Take these loose. Your bolts back in so they don't hit on the frame. She slides right down. You'll have access to your pulley and your bolts. And we are going to remove the pulley next. So now that we've gained access to our pulley, we're going to break these bolts that hold the pulley on loose. We're going to need a number 5 Allen key to fit them. You do want to leave the belt on for this. If you remove the belt, you are going to have a very difficult time breaking these loose. So we'll just go ahead and break these loose here. After you've got them broken loose, we're not removing them just yet. We're going to go ahead to the next step and remove the belt. Alright, for this next section, the tools we're going to need are a Sharpie, either a file or a saw blade, a number 10 socket, two number 13 wrenches, one number 10 wrench. We're going to be moving this motor plate up so we can take the tension off of this belt so we can remove the belt to remove the pulley. Before we do anything, we're going to mark each one of these studs so that when we put it back together, everything is in the same position. Our belt has the correct tension on it, and our shaft is back aligned. We're also going to mark these studs on the top and on the bottom so that when we run the motor back down, it's in the same position. Now the file or the saw blade, if this machine's been in the field for any amount of time, this one's new and clean. If a Sharpie won't show up, we can take and just mark the threads. Try not to damage them. We're not cutting through this, we're just marking. Same thing on the bottom here. That's it. So we'll start by loosening these four. You will have to have a backup wrench behind each one of them. Don't have to take them all the way out, just have to get them loose. So now that these are loose, take and loosen these. And then we can run those up. And then you should be able to take your belt off. Giving you access to your pulley and your pulley bolts, and we'll take that off next. Alright, so now that we've got the belt removed, we're going to go ahead and finish removing the bolts that we broke loose. Again, need a number 5 Allen key. And we will show you the difference between the old style of pulley and the new style of pulley. Here we have the updated pulley with the grooves. The grooves are there to give something for the belt to grab onto, so that will eliminate the squealing or the slipping. As we can see on this one, no grooves. These are just belt marks. They're not actually grooves, it is smooth. So next we're going to put the updated pulley on the machine and reassemble. Now that we've got our updated pulley, we're going to go ahead and reinstall that. Just going to put these in hand tight. You can line up your holes. I'm just going to get them on hand tight. To start. Again, that's a number 5 Allen key. Just snug them up. And then we will do the final torque on those when we get our belt back on, which is our next step, and we're going to do that. All right, our next step is to get our belt reinstalled on our updated pulley. Just going to get it started. Okay, get that aligned on there. Now we're going to retension our belt, realign our motor. You're going to need a number 10 socket for these, and a number 10 box end wrench for your backup, 2 number 13 wrenches for these. We're going to run these back down to our marks we previously made. I want to use a backup wrench to get these snugged back together. The same thing on the other side. That'll put tension back on your belt. Now, you're going to need your number 10 socket and your number 10 box end wrench. tightening these, you're trying to get your marks you made earlier as close to where you had them as before. Now that we've got these tightened, we are going to finish torquing our bolts on our new pulley. That is again a number 5 Allen key. After we've got all of these, we're going to be ready for our next step. All right, our next step is going to be the reassembly of this electric panel. We're just going to lean this up, aligning these 2 bolts on either side with these 2 ears, here and here. And then the next step will be tightening those down. Alright, our next step is going to be tightening these cabinet bolts back down. Again, a magnet does help, so you don't have to hold the door. So here, and a backup wrench on the other side. And the same thing on your other side. Put your door back down. And after that, the only thing you've got left to do is put your panels back on. That will complete changing the pulley to our new updated one. And if you need to change the belt, it's the same process, just minus removing the pulley.